Hi, I'm Erica, and this is my Webcam Project Answers. Okay, so on Lord and Miley Cyrus, on what their style persona is and what they're doing right with their edginess or wrong. Well, Lord more or less is kind of cute or has her own way to her. I don't think she's anything um, inappropriate or something to be mainly talked about. Whether they pick at her on what not to wear, etc. Where Miley Cyrus, on the other hand, gets to a point where she expresses herself to be purposely caught by the media, purposely talked about, and I think that's why she does majority of the things she does to be, brought attention to have her name out, and she definitely is successful at that, especially with her new outfits and haircut and piercings and tattoos and etc. She's definitely in the headlines. I think the past few months for her has been a transformation from what we would see her as Hannah Montana to now her own individual. Um, it's like a shock to the culture, but I think that we're all getting used to the new Miley and accepting her for who she is and what she stands for now, whether it's like Free the Nipple campaign and you know she's actually started a few different empowering things, as much as people say that she's putting out a bad word for women. But so and then other pop stars and celebrities that are showing an edgier and darker side, I would probably say Beyonce with her new album has probably hit America like, whoa, Beyonce, especially in her Drunken Love music video, very sexual, very sensual with her dancing and with Jay-Z, and then obviously like that whole Kim Kardashian in Kanye West's music video where she's naked riding the motorcycle. I think that's like an edgier, darker side. And then the different from today's edginess than past generations, I think, is that we take it to a whole nother level where it's more trashy than edgy, and it's like you kind of lose respect for yourself. Whereas back then, like, yeah, with Nirvana and all like Deadheads and etc. Like they were grunge, they were punk rock, but they still kept it like unique to them. But today, I think we kind of just like not we disrespect ourselves, and we're more of trashy rather than trying to express ourselves. And then have I seen any pop stars or celebrities challenging authority? Well, that's always the case with celebrities because they think that they're on a certain level of authority. Like you obviously see things with Justin Bieber or Miley Cyrus, Lindsay Lohan, Demi Lovato, where they think that they're in charge, or when someone says something, they need to respond back, or they don't think that they should be caught, red-handed, or that they need to follow the rules, or even when you see celebrities get pulled over and they have that. Although we don't know to what extent things are true or not, but based on what we hear, I think all celebrities more or less are able to challenge authority. Um, and then any pop stars being brutally honest about their opinions to other celebrities? If so, tell you. So I think Jennifer Lawrence, everyone loves her, and she's not afraid to say what's on her mind and be brutally honest. Definitely Jennifer Lawrence is someone that speaks her mind and isn't afraid to, go out of her comfort zone. Um, then again, so is, people who have had sick, or it can be considered sick, more or less, like Lindsay Lohan, who wasn't afraid to be brutally honest. Again, Demi Lovato, who tweets. And a lot of this is done over Twitter nowadays, where people can express their feelings in less than 150 characters. And I think that's how we get a lot of our information and get to know more about the celebrity themselves. And I think that's been a huge part of social media and learning about our favorite celebrities. And then any examples of people going against the system, I think that's always something, especially in high school. Um, Whether or not it's something horrible and like kind of tragic, like when kids show up to school drunk, or, you know, when people, totally disrespect a teacher or go out cursing, etc. Like, I think that's definitely against going against the system. I have had a few people this year at my school who got caught with alcohol. Um, that's definitely against the system. And then fashion trends. Well, I go to an art school, so everyone is kind of expressing themselves. We don't really have a dress code, so a lot of the visual majors and digital majors kind of beat to their own drum and dress, whether you can be called scene or goth or, you know, weird. I think they definitely are dark and edgy, and I think a lot of people now are also doing the plaid flannel around the waist, and they consider that edgy with like a black shirt and jean shorts, and I think that's like a huge trend right now. Um, and then any trends in music that are edgier, anti-authority, challenging, etc. Please tell us. I think Rihanna always has been edgy and anti-authority and challenging. I think every piece of music that she writes and performs is always edgy and dark and well, except for like loved ones, but regardless, I think she always has something to challenge, and you can always expect that from her. And then any edgy things in culture that are pushing boundaries. Um, we as Americans obviously feel the need that we can speak to what we believe and that we have the freedom of speech. So we always push boundaries. We always, push the limit, push the envelope here because we think that our word is just as good as anyone else's. And yes, that's true, but there's some things to be said about when to overstep your boundaries. And then anyone rejecting the system and making their own career path, yeah, a lot of people actually, whether or not they get their GED in high school, don't really finish high school or don't go to college or challenge the system and say, hey, like I'm going to go my own path. And, they end up becoming successful. Like my friend who is actually a very successful coding and programmer. And he decided to, not finish high school. He didn't go to his senior year of high school. He finished some credits on FLVS, Florida Virtual School. And then now he works full time and is going to be a business partner for a coding program. So he's a great example of challenging the system. And then people use social media to be edgy, provocative, and inappropriate sometimes too, and brutally honest. All the time. I think that's the way they are able to express themselves publicly and express their opinion and, have people be able to see who they are and have an insight to them. So they'll, say a status about someone or a picture or like everyone just like kind of speaks their own mind. And it's called a subtweet on Twitter when someone's talking about someone else when they're being brutally honest, more or less. So that goes along like a lot. I mean, on a lot on Twitter. Twitter is now really the main focus of social media, I would say, more than Instagram, more than Facebook, more than Tumblr. And a lot of things that people use to be provocative or edgy would be selfies and pictures in just like a sports bra and like spandex and or push their boobs up and all of that kind of good stuff. If there was a new rebellion for my generation, I honestly don't know because we've been through so much already. I think a new rebellion, I don't know. I feel like we already have had our rebellion. I think that social media has pushed us to have our own rebellion. A lot of girls, rebel against anything. So, I don't know if there would be like a new rebellion. Maybe there would be dress. I think we already dressed like without enough clothes anyways. I don't really know. A new rebellion, that's a good one. But thank you so much and I really enjoyed this.